What is going on, guys? It is Experimental Merv here, and I am so sorry for this late review of Mafia 3, but I just wanted to give my take now that I've played it a couple times over. And I'm also apologizing for lack of consistency since I have been working on the True Vault Escapades series, and I hope you guys check that out. I produced 8, and everybody on the team that voice acted and helped out, they did a great job. But without further ado, this is my take on Mafia 3. A game I've been fond of for many years. So the question is, was Mafia 3 a good game, or was it a bad game? Was it in between? Well, it's interesting because I just went on Steam recently and actually purchased the game. This is like my second purchase, but I wanted it on a PC. And I look at the ratings, and it literally has almost an equal amount of likes and dislikes. And not exactly equal, but it's close because 8,000 people dislike it, but 7,000 people like it. So I mean, it doesn't fall too far from the tree. And I mean, the game was absolutely good to me. I mean, it wasn't 100% what I wanted and what I waited for, and I can understand people's anger when it comes to that factor. But at the same time, Mafia 3, the gameplay was so greatly improved from Mafia 2 and Mafia 1, of course. But then again, if you play Mafia 1 and Mafia 2 and then jump to Mafia 3, you're going to see a significant change, and not exactly the story, which I think was the best part, just hands down with this game. Just how the game plays and the theme, the atmosphere, everything changes because it's not that classical mob lifestyle we see, that whole Godfather, Goodfellas type thing. Mafia 2 had it, Mafia 1 had it, Mafia 3, Hangar 13 wanted to take a different approach, and well, they took it. And I have to give them a round of applause for that because that was a really ballsy move of them. But the thing is, Mafia 3 did lack a lot of originality when it came to their missions or quests, whatever you like to call them, because the game sort of was repetitive. It was very repetitive. You pretty much just take down, like you do what the trailers say and what they were hyping it up for. You know, you take down the capos and then all the henchmen and everybody that works for Sal Marcano in the game, and you do that. But the thing is, you take them out the exact same way every time. There's like a good 5 districts there, and they each have a huge mob figure running it that works under Sal Marcano, and all you really do is work your way up with each district. So you talk to like 2 people, they give you a series of extremely repetitive missions. I mean, all you do is go around like a back alley, find some little warehouse or some sort of underground gambling den, and you can either sneak or you can go loud, and once they're all dead, you burn or destroy these boxes of items that they're distributing like illegally, and you just do that and repeat. It's literally the exact same thing. The only time Hangar 13 decided to make a unique mission is whenever you actually reach that big head mob guy that works for Sal Marcano. Say there's this one where I forget the name of the district, but it's this old-fashioned mobster guy that actually turns out to be your friend, and you go there and it's like this big scrapyard, and it's completely different from all the other places you've been infiltrating, and that's when they decide to switch it up. I mean, they make special enemy entrances and a lot of different dialogues, but other than that, if you're working by yourself and just doing regular missions on the side, they're all going to be executed the exact same way. And that's what really pissed me off about Mafia 3, because I was thinking, oh wow, we got Vito, Cassandra, and Burke, and you, and you're all trying to take over the city, and there's like so many different districts and so many different back alleyways and a lot of space compared to Mafia 1 and 2. So, I mean, there's obviously going to be a lot of originality, right? But I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong. And that was my main problem with Mafia 3. It just seems like a lot of promises weren't lived up to, and that was a really big disappointment. Now, does that mean that I hate Mafia 3 or dislike Mafia 3? Not for me. And I know a lot of you probably think differently, but I'm such a die-hard Mafia fan that I just couldn't help but like this game, because though it was repetitive, though the same thing was happening with Lincoln and every single person you took care of in this game. The gameplay was so smooth and it was so improved compared to the other ones, which seemed a little bit stiff, but they're older. But Mafia 3, they really amped up the shooting and the movements and everything in this game. I mean, all of the brutal takedowns you do and all of the weapons you can choose from and all of the different options you have with your counterparts in this game. That really helped improve the Mafia series in my book. I like how you can choose between who gets what district, you know, Burke, Vito, and Cassandra, and I'm so glad they brought back Vito. And yes, you do get to learn what happened to Joe. I'm not going to spoil that to you, and that was something we were all waiting for. But other than that, we have a great story on our hands. The story, I don't think I've ever been so in tap with a story from Mafia than this game. Whoever wrote this story is a genius, and they actually came out with a book, and I ought to buy it, but the Mafia 3 story probably kept my attention the most. I mean, out of all years in the 60s, they chose 1968, probably the most hectic year of the 20th century, just socially speaking. And of course, you're playing as a black man, you're Lincoln Clay, and you're teaming up with your former CIA buddy you met in Vietnam. I mean, it can't get more 60s than that. And you put that to the test as you try to take down the Italian mob. You get taken in by Sammy Robinson, and you meet your sort of half-brother, Ellis Robinson, and you do a couple of missions with them. The beginning was probably the most interesting part because you get to see the inside of the mob, and you get to meet all of these people and see the culture and everything like that. And until Sal Marcano and his boys come in after you rob a Federal Reserve, and they shoot you and everybody up, and you're like the only survivor. I mean, the premise of this story is just so amazing, and that's what really kept my attention. And the fact that it's a revenge story too is absolutely amazing, because you really do feel the pain. I mean, I felt the pain. I was like, poor Lincoln, you know. And so you gather up 3 other mobsters that run their own mobs, and you team up to take down Sal, who has like a hand in every little thing that happens in the city. So you're seeing as Lincoln progresses and takes over the city, you see Sal become a lot more uncomfortable, and he's throwing everything he has at you after he learns you're alive. And you have the priest, I believe he's the priest, Father James. He comes and he's telling you to just kind of follow the righteous path and do the good thing, and, you know, heck, just take down Sal Marcano and call it a day. And so Lincoln's like, no, I want to take down every single person that he's ever met and ever worked with. So you're kind of struggling with morals at the same time as with revenge. So that's what kept this story so intriguing to me. And they really paid a lot of attention to the 1960s architecture and the cars and everything. So you really felt like you were in 1968. And, you know, I find myself lost in the game sometimes because the music they had, superb. I mean, not even just the soundtrack, but the music choices on the radio, perfect. And they have the radio announcer come on and talk about all the crazy things that's happening in 1968. So you have a pretty abundant atmosphere with you, and it's constantly changing. It's really amazing to explore in this game, and all the different districts and how you see the different classes of people socially. So yeah, that's my take on Mafia 3's story. And unfortunately, that's the only positive thing I can really say with no loopholes or kinks in it, because there is another thing that completely pissed me off about Mafia 3. The developers, the company 2K or Hangar 13, I don't know who decides this, but their ideas for DLC are really just features that should have been in the base game. And I don't think that could have pissed me off any more than the repetitiveness of the gameplay. And just for instance, they just released a car customization feature, which was already standard in Mafia 2. You can go into Tommy's, I think it was Tommy's workshop, and you can change your car's color, get the license plate done, get racing stripes and flames and different engines and stuff on it, and rims. And Mafia 3 just decided to put that out as a DLC, which should not have been a DLC. That should have come with the game. And unfortunately, you can't do that to every car you find on the road. You can only do that to certain cars that are considered like sport car, muscle car, and specialty cars. So, I mean, it pissed me off even more whenever I tried to get a regular like sedan off the road and just customize it, and they wouldn't let me in because it was not considered a racing car. And this new car DLC they came out with the customization also came with a racing feature, which is fun, but I'm not much of a racer in video games. I still got it because I wanted to customize vehicles, but I was screwed over because I thought it was going to have you customize any car you wanted. So yeah, that's a letdown. And then they came out with like a Mustang and a Thunderbird and another car as another DLC. But that's it so far. But there is hope, because if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be some sort of story DLC coming out where you and Donovan go into the bayou to hunt down some bayou cult, kind of based off of the Manson cult in the 60s. So that should be fun, and that sounds interesting. But if they're just going to give us these three and just call it a day, Hangar 13 should not be surprised if they get a negative review overall, because this is just BS what they're doing with the DLCs, releasing features that should have came with the game. They should have broadened their horizon and worked with just a multitude of different things they could think of that could improve gameplay, story, anything, but just releasing little features that should have been in the game in the first place is just an insult. But yeah, that is pretty much what I have to say about Mafia 3 as a whole. I would give it a thumbs up because these complaints are really only coming from me being a Mafia fan from Mafia 2 and Mafia 1. But if this was just a game someone wanted to buy because they've never played Mafia before, I mean, go ahead. This is a good, fun game to me. That's what really keeps me playing, is because the gameplay is absolutely fun. They really improved it. They made it more realistic. It's a great game. I mean, it's a great game. It's a good game. I don't think it's a bad game, but as a Mafia fan who's played Mafia 2 like dozens of times, I think that this is kind of an insult when it comes to what you can do and all the time they had to work on this game, because it's been 7 years, because I think Mafia 2 came out in 2010, so it's been a good 6 years, and this game could have been a little bit more, you know, it could have been more. But who knows? We don't know exactly what Hangar 13 still has up their sleeve, so maybe it can be better. And they have pretty much stated they were going to be making more Mafia games, so I'm pretty sure they're going to take all of this advice from everybody and all the complaints and concerns and try to make it better. So that's all I have to say about Mafia 3. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos, and thanks for sticking by.